So hey everyone, so I am on my way back from the casino at Foxwoods. I had an absolutely amazing weekend, so my eyes are on the road, both hands are on the steering wheel. So I'm just going to talk to you as I commute slowly. So the traffic is moving, but moving really slowly because I'm in traffic. So I drove through a lot of rain on my way from the Grand Pequot Hotel to Madison, the shoreline in Connecticut. And I stopped here to have lunch because when I get home, you know, I have to prep for my week. Seeing patients and tending to their healthcare needs. So I really just needed a psychological day. I really needed that. Not just a day, but a weekend. I've been pushing full force for a while now, like a marathon, preparing to get my son ready to go off to college for the very first time. And you know, and of course you're a mom, and once a mom you'll always be a mom to your children. And then owning and managing a practice, you tend to put yourself last. Yeah guys, so I'm back. Traffic is moving a little bit faster, but you know, again, I'm safe. My focus is really on the road, both hands on the wheel, and I'm just talking. So I just wanted to say, you know, as healthcare providers and practitioners, you know, we immerse ourselves in the health and well-being of our patients and clients, and so we should. But it should not be at the expense of taking care of ourselves. There is a saying called that goes like this: physician, heal thyself. And so I find that it is pivotal for the practitioner to be in a really good state of health, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, energetically, because you're sharing your energy with the person who is depleted, right? When you have a terminal illness such as cancer or serious metabolic illnesses, you are energetically depleted and you have energy blocks. And as stated by the principles and concepts of Eastern medicine, if your energy flow or your chi is blocked, then there's going to be a manifestation of disease. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So the practitioner has to be energetically well. They have to be mentally, emotionally well, because you're doing a lot. You're managing the healthcare of people who entrust you with their health, and it's difficult. There are difficulties, right? You know, in terms of your time, you're immersing yourself in research and learning and updating. You know, keeping up with the most recent research, which is ever changing, as it should. So there's a lot expected of you as a practitioner, and there's a lot that you expect of yourself as a practitioner who cares for the people who are entrusting you with their health care. Sometimes we lose people, you know, in the oncology field. Sometimes, you know, the person that comes into your office or your clinic on a regular basis transitions, and that transitioning is usually abrupt, very abrupt. And then know, I've done this enough to realize that, you know, you can attribute blame to yourself. You have contributed, whether you believe it or not, in some way to support that person, even in their transitioning. I believe that for a fact, because I believe that people come into our lives to enrich it, or to provide instruction, or just to give us thicker skin and make us stronger. I do believe that for a fact. So, you know, when we lose patients or we hear news of their transitioning, it's really sad. When I first started naturopathic medicine, or just medicine in general, because my first encounter with that was during my externship program when I was an undergraduate, and I was doing I was at the emergency room, and an elderly man came in with the classic symptoms of a myocardial infarct, which is a heart attack. So he had it was the winter season, he was shoveling snow. So he had gone from living a basically sedentary lifestyle and had gone out and spent the whole morning into the afternoon clearing snow from his driveway.
In about 10 miles, take exit 38
if you know
toward
anything
Merritt
about
and
the
Route 15.
homes in general in Westchester County, you know, the driveways are generally long. So I'm sure you had a lot of snow to clear away, and the snow was probably heavy. And again, not exercising all the time or on a regular basis, he started to complain to his wife that he was having some discomfort in his chest. And he described the typical symptoms of, you know, the pain radiating to his jaw, the side of his face, the left side of his face, down his shoulder and into his arm. And, you know, I knew that, even as an undergraduate student, that those were the classic signs of a myocardial infarct. But he was asked to sit and wait, and he did that, and he waited and he waited and he waited until he collapsed. And yeah, he was not, they were not able to revive him, put it that way. And so he left. His wife was given his valuables, and so the whole, you know, washing and wrapping and prep for the morgue process was taking place, which I had to witness and indirectly participate in. And that tore me to pieces. And I remember the bus ride home, I just couldn't pull it together. I was in tears. And I went home and I said to my mom, I don't think medicine is for me. I don't want to do that. And then I started to look into, you know, other areas of medicine, and coming from a natural background, I decided that naturopathic medicine was the course that I wanted to pursue, the course of study that I wanted to pursue. So I applied to UVCNM, and I graduated and received my degree, and took and passed both boards, clinical boards, and, you know, the sciences, etc. And became licensed in my state. And so this is what I do. And a part of my job is that people transition. People that you get to know intimately as their practitioner, and have that intimate, practitioner-patient relationship. And a lot of times that relationship can be severed just very abruptly. And I don't think, there's any particular group or forum that I know of where practitioners get together and support each other and provide support, mental, emotional, psychological support. But it does get to you. It does impact you. It has to impact you. If you care for your patients, it has to impact you. And so it does. But you go on, right? You go on and you prepare for those people who are here and who you can continue to lend support to. But it does catch up with you. If you're not practicing regular self-care as a healthcare practitioner, doctor, physician, it will catch up with you. If you are dealing with people who have terminal illnesses or, chronic illnesses that are life-threatening, it affects you, it impacts you. And having an outlet is essential. And so I took time for an outlet today. This weekend. So starting with the concert, it was amazing. I absolutely love the music of the performer Maxwell. He doesn't just perform, but he is a gifted musician, singer, and as I said, performer. I love his music. So I got the chance to enjoy that this weekend. I have no problem, participating in activities by myself. I do have to say I enjoy my own company. It wasn't always that way. I always felt that I needed to have a whole lot of people around me. But now I realize that I don't, and I always meet people when I travel solo or attend events by myself. I always have, those are actually, in fact, some of the best conversations that I have with folks that I meet when I'm on a solo trip or solo travel or dining solo, any of those things, attending events by myself. That's the opportunity to form really good contacts through networking, etc. So yeah, the concert was amazing. I had an amazing time. Maxwell is so humble and just so graceful and just so thankful, and recognizes that it's the people who love his music and that follow him that enables him to have the lifestyle that he has. And that was so profound to me, but so fitting of Maxwell. I don't know him personally, but I've gotten to know him through his music during the 90s and onwards, and I love his music and I love his vibe. And so that was amazing, and I really enjoyed. I don't gamble. I don't drink alcohol. I'm not doing that. Now I'm growing, or I have grown to respect more so than ever this vehicle that has housed my soul for the last almost 60 years, coming upon 60 years. And so it is my duty to do my due diligence to support the health of my body. And I'm not saying I would never, have a glass of wine again or anything, but I do know enough of the dangers of alcohol if it's consumed on a regular basis. And so when you know, you are then held accountable. So I didn't do any of that, but I walked around and I enjoyed the camaraderie of other people that were there at the concert, and I met people while having some of my meals, and so it was great. It was a really good experience, but I also got time to be with myself without, away from my thoughts, and just being able to just, quiet my mind a little bit after the concert. So that was great, and I woke up this morning, got myself ready to check out of my hotel, which was amazing, by the way, and then I started heading back to Fairfield County, and there was a bit of a rainstorm. The weather is 60 degrees, so I have short sleeves, so it's not hot, but it's not cold either. Just a mild weather, and I love the fall. It's my favorite time of year, so that was fitting. I didn't bring my raincoat, which I had the mind to do, but rushing to get myself together, I forgot my raincoat, so I got into work Saturday morning, which I generally don't do, but I went in to finish up with a patient. So just wanted to share that about my weekend with you guys. I hope you guys also had an amazing weekend, but I get on here not to be braggadocious, but just to emphasize, in case you've forgotten, that self-care is important. Taking time for yourself is important. You can go on vacations with your family, but sometimes taking a trip, even if it's a short staycation, as they call it, to be with yourself is healthy. All right, you don't always need crowds around you. It's okay to be in your own company. And it might feel strange at first, because it was for me when I first started going out to the movies and different events and dining by myself. It felt strange initially, but I've grown to love my own company. And the more I healed from past traumas and programmings and vows that we take, where we call in dark energies on ourselves, most times unassumingly, when I started healing from those things and started to grow spiritually and spend more time with my higher self, and
in 2 miles,
I
take exit
began
38
to
toward
love
Merritt
myself
and Route
more.
15.
And the more you love yourself, the more you appreciate your company. Just put it that way. All right, so that's pretty much all I wanted to say today. Happy Sunday to everybody, and wishing you blessings in abundance, and take care and be well.